Hello everyone, welcome back to Z Physics. Today we are going to be answering the question, what is phase difference? Well, let's get started. So the phase difference is how far out of sync 2 points, and this is really important, so I'm going to underline this, 2 points on one wave or multiple waves are. It is typically measured in degrees, and the formula for it is that phase difference is the fractional change in wavelength. Notice this is delta lambda divided by lambda multiplied by 360 degrees. Okay, so let's have a look at an example. Over here on the right, we have a wave with 2 points along the wave. Now, what is the phase difference between those 2 points? Well, what I'm going to do is simply write down my equation for phase difference. So, phase difference is equal to the fractional change in wavelength, that's delta lambda over lambda, multiplied by 360 degrees. Now notice that point number one is halfway along the wavelength. So this full length here from point one to point two, this is lambda, point one is halfway along it. So the difference between them, between point one and point two, is half a wavelength. And I can just visualize this like so. So that's half lambda. So in my formula, this will be equal to 1/2 lambda divided by lambda times 360 degrees. Of course, the lambda is just going to cancel out in this equation, and what I'm left with is a half times 360 degrees, which is 180 degrees. So the phase difference between points 1 and 2 is 180 degrees. Now let's do one more example. We have two more points, P and Q. What is the phase difference between them? Once again, I'm just going to write down my formula, which is the fractional change in the wavelength multiplied by 360 degrees. Now in this case, the 2 points are going to differ by 3/4 of their cycle. Now this is over here is the full length, the distance from Q to the origin. P is about a quarter of a cycle in, so this would mean that the distance from this point to Q is actually 3/4 of the wavelength, with this distance here being a quarter of the wavelength. So this will essentially give us a fraction of 3/4 times 360, which is equal to 270 degrees, which is the phase difference between points P and Q. Okay, folks, so hopefully phase difference makes sense now. If there are any questions, please feel free to drop a comment. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this was useful.